Hello everybody, I am Oscar and welcome to my review for American Sniper, which is directed by Clint Eastwood and stars Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller. And this film is based on the true story of Chris Kyle, who, from which I understand, has the most kills of any American sniper ever. And considering the amount of Oscar nominations this film has got, I was interested to see why has it got this much award love. Probably the biggest positive I can give this film is that it was really intense. Like, through the none of any war scenes in it, I was really tense and kind of on the edge of my seat on a few moments. Like, for example, the scenes when he was first going into the military, there were moments which like, oh, it's intense because he's not sure whether to kill or not. Like, you know, should he kill this kid that could blow up 20 other soldiers? You know, it's a bit of a dilemma. And, you know, that is intense because he has to think of those decisions. And then throughout the film, he kind of gets used to just sniping people. And you would think some of that intensity kind of gets lost because it's like, oh, well, now he doesn't really have any, you know, hard decisions necessarily anymore because he's like, you know, pop, you know, whatever. Eastwood still manages to make any war scenes intense, like really puts you in the moment. And the use of, I guess, handheld cam really makes it just that more gritty. Not shaky cam, handheld cam, which gives that, you know, kind of real grit to it, but it's not constantly like this all the time. And the film kept me engaged in it for quite a long time. So much so that I actually had to kind of go like, oh, I'm sitting in a cinema watching this at the moment. For a while, I was just so engaged in the story and the characters and just what was going on that I kind of forgot that I was in the cinema watching a Clint Eastwood film. I think this has a great acting, not only by Bradley Cooper, but by Sienna Miller, who does a fantastic job. I feel like the character she was given could have very well have just been like, oh, I am the wife of a Navy SEAL. Oh no, it's so hard. But she played it very well and not generic at all. I think she really did a lot with what she was given. And one thing about Cooper, here's something that I walked away from American Sniper. Seeing Bradley Cooper in this film, if they ever get anywhere with the Crossface film, Bradley Cooper would be the perfect choice to play Chris Benoit. I'm serious, because the way he buffed up for it, I looked at, there was a point where, you know, there's a scene with him shirtless, and I'm like, he looks like he would be the perfect Chris Benoit, like, honestly. And I'm like, guys, if you get the Crossface film done, if you actually get it out of the development stage, cast Cooper as Benoit, because he's a great actor and he can very much so look the part. The sound editing and mixing in this film were absolutely outstanding, not only just from the clicking of the sniper, but from just the gun sound effects. They really sounded like, oh, very jolted. The sound overall is very good, and I'm still rooting for Interstellar to win Best Sound Editing and Mixing at the Academy Awards, but I could totally understand how American Sniper can win both of those awards. Totally understand. And I would be completely fine with it, because the sound was really enthralling, and I think that was a large part of why this film was quite intense. As I said, I was really engaged with it in the film, and I was like, yes, I'm in it for the ride, I'm in for watching Cooper's portrayal of Chris Kyle. I buy the relationship between Cooper and Miller. I'm enthralled in what's happening. The story's interested me. I'm in. But as the film kind of went on, I started feeling the length of the film. I think the film's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. Towards like the mid-end point, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel the length of the film. Can we kind of speed things up a little bit? And the film does that. The film does speed up, but for like a moment in midway through it, for a moment, I started feeling it dragged a bit, and the pacing became a bit slow. One thing that I was scared of going into this film was that it was just going to be full of American patriotism. It was just going to be full of that. And now I'm fine with patriotism. I'm fine with being patriotic. But I find when Americans get patriotic, they get really, really patriotic. So much that it feels like they're just pumping America into you. And I was really worried going into this film that it was literally just going to be, the legend Chris Kyle. Ooh, yeah, America. And they start kind of doing that. They nickname him the legend because that's why he was nicknamed. But even he's like, that's something that I do not want to be given the title of. Just that, no. And I think the film overall handled the patrioticness very well until the very end. And I mean the end. And I get it starts off like a slideshow, like a memorial type thing, which I was fine, showing shots of Chris Kyle and stuff, and you know what, like just everything like that. I was like, okay, this is fine. It's like, so we're gonna go on in credits right about now, and it went on to another slideshow. And okay, this is like a perfect image to end on, and it kept going, and it kept going, and it kept going. I think the film made up for not having so much patriotism in the film by just having an endless slideshow of just America. And I was like, I understand. I was fine with it at the beginning, but then it kept going, and that's when it became a little bit more overwhelming to me. And I'm not saying this because, I'm a Brit, and America, I'm fine with loving your country. Look, if you're American and you're patriotic, I'm fine with it. But I get annoyed with it when it's in England as well, when England get way too patriotic. I get annoyed with that. I get annoyed with anything when you're shoving the country into my face. I'm annoyed when my country's shoved into my face. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying like, America, you shouldn't be patriotic. I'm fine with that. I was in with this film. I was like, yeah, America at points when I'm not American. But I think it got way too over patriotic during the end, because it felt like it just wouldn't end. That's not to disrespect the man Chris Kyle himself, because I watch interviews and such after watching the film, and I'm like, he seems like a very awesome guy, and he seemed like a great man. So no disrespect to him at all. I just think the film kind of went on a bit. So overall, I think American Sniper was a very well acted film, a very well directed film, extremely intense, like really intense, which has amazing sound editing and mixing. A really good performance by Cooper and Miller. So guys, thanks for watching my review for American Sniper. What are your guys' thoughts on American Sniper? Have you seen it? If you haven't, I hope this review kind of persuade you whether or not to see it. If you have seen it, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I would be interested to know. And also, links are down below for Twitter and Facebook to all the Heel Pictures crew members. And till next time, guys, I shall see you later, and goodbye.